All right. Hello, everyone. And thank you for tuning in for another Authors Impact Hub podcast. I am your host, Juanita Woodson, visionary of the Authors Impact Hub. And I'm super excited about the guest that we have on with us today. Excited to learn more about her journey and also super excited for where she is joining us from. So we have
Mm.
Maida on with us from Jordan. And correct me if I'm wrong, you are joining from
You're no,
Jordan.
you're correct. Yeah.
Yes, love it. So I told you guys we were going to be going international, and we now have our first international guest on with us. So I'm
Yay.
going to pass it over to you. If you can introduce yourself, let us know
Mhm.
a little bit about your background, and the title of the book we're going to be discussing.
All right. Hi. It's so nice to be on here for the first time doing a podcast. Again, internationally as well. Yes, I'm Maida Hairabedian, all the way from Amman, Jordan. And it's been truly a joy knowing that I was able to write my first book called The Victorious Exit. And it's on Amazon right now. And it's been truly wonderful knowing that I was able to write and just share my journey, share a journey of heartbreak that turned into God's glory, from pain to wonderful beauty.
Okay, absolutely. So we're going to definitely dig into a little bit more about your writing
Mhm.
journey, the purpose of the book as well, right? To get to know you a little bit more. So what inspired you to write your book?
Well, what inspired me the most, it was the healing journey that started in me. Um, I've been wanting to write this specific story for years now. And the way God just works through in mysterious ways is truly, truly true because I mean, going to a trip and a trip turns into a complete healing. And then from that trip, God opens a wonderful door where God says, like, okay, Maida, it's time for you to share this story, share the healing that I've put you through. And it's time for a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of girls to hear what you went through and what God brought you through. So, yeah, healing was what inspired me the most.
Absolutely. So your
Mhm.
book, it is a fiction book based on your
It's
own journey?
absolutely, yes, it's fiction based, but it's based on true events.
Okay.
And it was hard to begin with. It was hard to start writing, it was hard to know where to start from, where to begin from, who to go to. Just the beginning of the steps was kind of confusing at first, but whenever again, when God opened that door for me and people came through for me, they truly encouraged me. They truly helped me to find my voice, to truly share my voice as well. So, yeah, it just, yeah, God is so good.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about Victoria, right? How did you come up with the name of the character, all of those things?
Yeah, Victoria means a lot to me because it comes from the word victorious. And it was so easy to come up with that name because I felt like God was highlighting the word victorious for me because at the end, all of us women are victoriouses. We're all we have the victory in our hands, no matter what we've been through, no matter how big or small the problem in our lives have been. So at the end, we are victorious. So
Yes.
Victoria, she means a lot to me, and just writing about Victoria had a huge connection with me. Like I feel like I know her even though
Yeah,
she's a fiction character, but again, she's real for me.
absolutely. Okay. So can you give us a little background, right? Without spoiling the story, right? Because we want to make sure that the listeners actually go and pick up a copy of the book.
Mhm.
But can you give us a little behind the scenes of what goes on in Victoria's life?
Well, to start with, Victoria. she's always gone through hard times in her past. Again, like you said, I'm not going to spoil any of the storyline, any of that. Um, yeah, but yeah, Victoria, she's gone through so much.
Okay.
So knowing that she was a fighter and she fought so much through different kind of pains from her childhood all the way through her adulthood, um, but knowing that God was with her and his hand was on Victoria throughout her life. That alone just shows how God intervenes, how God shows up, even though you think you're alone, even though you think that no one's around you, or you're feeling nobody cares about you. But knowing that there is a person,
Yes.
like knowing that you are protected no matter what you're going through, God's hand will always carry you through every kind of throughout the every kind of pain.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. And you talk about your faith, right? I can tell that your
yeah,
faith is so important to you.
absolutely.
Right. So can you share a little bit about how your faith in Christ helped you through your healing journey and then even with the
Mhm,
writing process? Because I know when we're talking about even though it's fiction based, right? It's still
mhm,
rooted in
yeah.
truth. So what was that process like writing through that pain?
Yeah, I mean, I've been through a lot of healing. Victoria in the book also has gone through so much healing. So knowing that God is the main part of my life, because again, like I said, with everything that I've been through as a childhood, throughout my adulthood, God was the center of everything in my life. So knowing that writing was part of my healing journey, and it wasn't easy. I cried a lot. I remembered a lot because my past pain, as I came through the healing process, I had like the wounds were reopened.
Right, right.
So I had to cry through it, pray through it. I had a lot of people from my church. I had a few friends. I had a few family members to pray for me throughout this journey. So knowing that God was with me and He was writing through me,
Yes.
basically it was His words, like carrying me through. So that's what helped me to come to a point where truly God heals through writing as well, and not just through counseling. Or, I mean, those are amazing things because I've been through that. Like the counseling helped me so much, but knowing that writing was the peak of it, you know? So, yeah, it brought me a lot of joy at the same time. And it did not come from any bitterness. It didn't come from any hurt. It didn't come from
Right.
any anger. It just came from a healing heart and a forgiving heart.
Yes, and I think that's so important. You know that you're truly
Mhm.
healed when you can say that, right? You can say, didn't
Yeah.
come from any bitterness. This is your
Mhm.
story that you're telling, and hopefully it can help free somebody else. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's my mission is, yeah, my book might just be going left, right, and center, but my mission is for that woman, that girl that
Yeah.
has been going through the same issues, or are about to go through the same issues. It's like a little, like a warning that you're not alone, you're not crazy, and a lot of people have gone through the same pain, but I'm here. The story's here for you to wake you up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So outside of writing, what else fills your cup outside of now being an author? What are some other things that fills your cup and has helped you in your healing journey?
Painting has like helped me so much, especially with watercolor, just blending colors. I mean, pain is all about blending as well with healing, because
Yes.
without pain, there's no beauty. So through scribbles, beauty can turn out with scribbles, or dark colors can blend into beautiful colors, you know?
Yes.
So painting is what truly got me out of the painful moments, the painful memories and all that things, just like full of colors, and it just brought me a lot of joy. So painting, taking pictures, going out in nature, seeing God's beauty, just walking in nature alone truly makes me feel better too.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And this question just I thought about this. So because it's a book that's rooted in your truth, but you decided to go the fiction route, what made you decide to do it fiction based and not as like a memoir?
Um, I just wanted to keep it um more personal, let's say,
Okay.
because I didn't want to share too much or I
Right.
didn't want to like go overboard. So
Okay.
because a lot of the fiction, I mean, a lot of the events that went through in my life could happen with anyone.
Yeah.
And some events can go even worse than what I went through or any girl have gone through. I mean, abuse, um, any kind of emotional, physical, whatever it may be, it
Or
can be hard on a lot of women.
absolutely.
So just using fiction can bring reality at the same time that there's so many other different kind of stories out there
Yes.
that are true and hurtful, but again, there's healing after that.
Absolutely. And the reason I asked that question because someone
Mhm.
um, that you may come across, they and pick up your book, they may wonder, well, okay, if this is about her life, I wonder why she chose to do it fiction based. But a lot of people I've realized that they do that. Because they want to keep some of those things personal. Maybe the
Yeah.
other people that were involved in your story
Mhm.
not wanting to share names. So absolutely. And I think with writing, you get to be so creative, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
so much
absolutely.
creativity that you can do in writing. So
Mhm.
what is next for you in your author journey?
I mean, a lot of people have been coming to me saying, "Oh, when are you gonna write your second book?" And I'm like, "Hang on there, hang in there. Let's just
Get the first
go
one?
through the first process of going through the first book signing, and I'm gonna be working on a book launching too, because living internationally, it's hard for you to get all the books to Jordan. So
Okay.
I have Ebony helping me out with that, and so my books are about to come soon. So once my books are here, I'm gonna be sharing the event pretty soon. No dates mentioned yet, but once that happens, when that goes and when the ball rolls, we'll see what's next.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
one day at a time.
yes, and I
Yeah.
didn't even think to ask. So I'm glad that you mentioned that because there may be people who are
Mhm.
international and thinking
Yeah.
about writing a book. That process for us here may be a little different. So can you talk
Mhm.
about some of the challenges that you faced in your writing your publishing journey and how you overcame those challenges?
Honestly, I mean, just like the way God opened the door for me, He made it so easy for me. Knowing that writing books here in Jordan could be difficult. I didn't try, I didn't research about it, but what I've
Okay.
heard, it is challenging. But when God put those people into my life, a friend and Ebony, and just, um, like when God's favor is upon you and He just makes everything simple, you don't even feel like there's any challenges. And the writing process, yeah, it was hard at the beginning, but it just went flowing and everything was on time, and I had a lot of encouraging people around me supporting me through it, so I did not really feel any challenges come except for the memories that I had to go through and pray through it. But at the end, God made it simple.
Yes, he made it
Yeah.
happen. So
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about how you connected with your publisher? Because I think I know a
Mhm.
little bit about the
Yeah.
story, but I think that
Yeah.
it's so important to share when it's like a divine connection in the way
It
that it
is.
happened. Yes.
Yeah, divine connection, divine appointment. I mean,
Yes.
it's amazing. Well, last year I went on a trip to the US, and I was going from state to state and going through one airport to another airport as a transit. I was in the Delta Airlines, and uh, just a stranger was sitting next to, because my mom and I went to the trip together. So a stranger was sitting next to my mom, and out of nowhere, just water started to come from the ceiling. The AC
Oh,
had issues. Yeah. And we asked for like if we can change our seat, but sadly, well, not sadly, because actually, again, it was something good that came out of a bad thing. But yeah, the flight was booked, so we couldn't move to a different seat.
wow.
So just and like I think a few minutes before landing, this person, his name is Marcel Anderson, he was sitting right next to my mom, and he just bent and looked at me and said, "Well, are you interested in books?"
Oh,
I
wow.
was like, and I was like, "Well, it depends on the book." And he just grabbed his book and gave it to me, and it was also because he's an author. He wrote his own
Yeah.
book, and I read it in a day, and it was really touching. And yeah, and he just told me that to put my seatbelt on because it's a tough read. And then after that, my mom was like, "Yeah, my daughter has been wanting to write a book for years now." And I was like, "Yeah, been it's been quite a challenge to know where to go to or who to go to." And he was like, "No, don't worry about it. I'll hook you up with my publisher. She's amazing." And then that's how everything began.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and let's make sure we give a shout out to your
Yes.
publisher and the
Ebony.
publishing company.
Ebony Bailey and the Purposely Books. Amazing job. And thank you to Marcel for hooking me up with them.
Yes, I love that because
Yeah.
if the incident wouldn't have happened.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Or if I moved to a different seat, that would
Yes,
have not happened.
yes.
Yeah, it's definitely God.
Yes, and then you mentioned earlier just about how sometimes pain can create those beautiful moments, and I
Yeah.
think that this is definitely a reflection of that,
Mhm.
and then now you've birthed this book.
Mhm.
Now you're
That's
on
the book.
podcasts, and there's so many more amazing
Yeah.
things that you're going to do with your work. So I always make sure we ask this question as well, and that is, what impact do you want your book and your brand? I know you're just getting started in the author world, but what impact do you want it to make on the world?
Well, as I said before, my mission is for a lot of women, a lot of girls, to just be aware of a lot of the red flags that go on through relationships, especially narcissistic relationships, all kinds of abuse relationships. So my story, Victoria's story, is for those girls to just truly wake up and know that what they're getting themselves into. I mean, it's never too late to leave a toxic relationship. So I hope and I pray that my book will do that difference to just one person, if
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
and
you.
speaking. I know that this will not be the last time that we'll have you.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that we get people to connect with you on social media and stay tuned for all the great things that you have going on. So how can
Mhm.
we follow you on social media?
I have my Instagram account, which is a Faithful Journey with Grace. And also I have my TikTok under my name, Maida Hairabedian.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so much.
your book is available to
Yeah.
purchase on Amazon.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, absolutely. Well, make
Yeah.
sure, listeners, that you connect on social media so that you can know about the book signing that will be coming soon.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping that you'll come over to the US and you'll have
Oh,
a
yeah.
signing over here too. I think that would be absolutely amazing.
That would be. That's my plan in the future for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, as you listen in to this episode, please make sure that you leave us some feedback, right? I asked this question and I make sure that I want to do this on each podcast episode. This is my charge to the listeners. Give us some feedback, one takeaway that you have gained from listening to Maida's story. Make sure that you go on Facebook and follow her, Instagram, TikTok, and stay
Mhm.
tuned for her book signing